Welcome to mtwisdom. Are you worried your body might be aging faster than it should and you're missing the warning signs? That quiet doubt, the little voice asking, is this normal? It shows up more often after 70. Because the truth is, aging isn't always easy to understand. Some changes come gently. Others sneak in, and before you know it, you're adjusting to things that may actually need your attention. A little stiffness, a lost name, waking up tired, they seem harmless. But sometimes, they're not just signs of getting older. They're your body asking you to look closer. In this video, we'll walk through the key differences between normal aging and early warning signs, so you can take action before small problems become bigger ones. Let's begin. Shift in strength mobility. What if I told you that one small action, something as basic as standing up from a chair without using your hands, could quietly predict your future? It might sound simple, but this one movement can reflect far more than your strength. It tells us about your balance, mobility, independence, and even your risk of future decline. Doctors have even used it as part of clinical assessments to estimate fall risk and frailty in older adults. Let's consider two men, Carl and Richard, both 75. Carl slowly became less active after retirement. He didn't think much of skipping his daily walks or spending more time sitting. Richard, on the other hand, made it a point to stay moving. He used light weights at home, stretched daily, and kept a routine. Years later, the contrast is obvious. Richard stands easily and walks confidently. Carl struggles just to get out of bed. You may have noticed it: two small changes. Maybe you've started pushing yourself off the couch with your hands, or you need a moment to steady yourself after standing. It's easy to shrug it off as just getting older, but sometimes, these are your body's early warnings that your strength is fading faster than it should. But here's the hopeful part: even if you've lost some strength, it's not too late to rebuild it. And it doesn't take a gym or a complicated plan to get started. Begin by paying close attention to how you rise from a chair. If you find yourself pushing off with your hands, try this: sit upright, cross your arms, and slowly stand using only your legs. Do it 5 times a day. Even this small effort can activate key muscles in your thighs and hips, the very ones that keep you steady when walking or climbing stairs. You can also add simple movements like seated leg lifts while watching TV or heel raises while brushing your teeth. These may seem minor, but over time they can restore strength, balance, and confidence. What you eat matters too. Muscles need fuel to stay strong. Add more protein to your meals, whether it's from fish, beans, eggs, or lean meat. And don't forget vitamin D3. Without it, your body can't properly absorb calcium or maintain muscle health. A quick blood test from your doctor can tell you if you're low. Think of your legs not just as limbs, but as your foundation. When they're strong, you move with ease. You stand taller. You reduce your risk of falling. And most importantly, you stay independent. So take this as a gentle check-in. Try that chair test today. Notice how your body responds. Then choose just one small action: a daily repetition, a dietary tweak, or even a short walk. Because when your legs stay strong, so does your freedom. Leave a like if you understand this. The heart's whisper. Some warnings don't shout. They arrive softly: a little pause while climbing stairs, a breath that catches quicker than before, a dizzy moment as you rise from your seat. It's easy to call it just age. But sometimes these subtle changes are how the heart begins to whisper for help. Take Eleanor. She had always found peace in her garden, hands in the soil, sun on her shoulders. But one spring, as she bent to water her flowers, something felt different. The task she once did without thought now left her breathless. Her legs felt heavy. And yet, there was no pain, no obvious reason to worry. But she listened, and what she discovered was that her heart wasn't keeping up like it used to. That's the quiet truth about heart health after 70. It's not always chest pain or dramatic emergencies. More often, it shows up in the background of daily life. You might notice your heartbeat fluttering, not in joy, but in irregular rhythm. Or you find yourself out of breath, not after a jog, but after folding laundry. Perhaps your socks leave a deeper mark on your ankles than they used to, a quiet sign of fluid buildup. These moments matter. They're your body asking for attention. Now, the good news is this: your heart is resilient, and small changes in how you care for it can lead to meaningful improvements. Start by moving. Not marathons, just steady, consistent movement. A 20-minute walk around your block, or even gentle stretching in the morning, gets your heart pumping and your blood circulating. Hydration, too, is vital. Many older adults drink less, simply because they don't feel thirsty, but your heart needs fluid to keep your blood flowing smoothly. Aim to sip throughout the day, especially if you're on medications that increase fluid loss. And finally, keep an eye on your blood pressure. If you don't have a home monitor, ask your doctor about regular checks. Numbers creeping above 130/80 repeatedly aren't just numbers, they're a message worth decoding. Your heart doesn't always demand attention with pain. Often it simply slows, swells, or stutters, hoping you'll notice before things get worse. So take a quiet moment and ask yourself, have I been feeling more tired than usual? More winded? Less steady on my feet? If so, it might be time to check in, not with fear but with care. When food no longer feels the same, have you noticed food just isn't the same anymore? Maybe you used to enjoy cooking, or you always looked forward to your favorite dish, but lately, the joy has faded. Meals feel like a task. Flavors seem muted. You eat less, not because you're dieting, but because your body no longer asks for more. That was exactly what happened to Barbara. Once a passionate home cook, she found herself skipping meals more often. She didn't feel hungry. Food didn't taste the same. And slowly, without realizing, her clothes loosened. Her energy dipped. She thought it was just part of aging until her doctor pointed out that her digestive system wasn't absorbing nutrients the way it used to. It's a common shift after 60. Digestion slows. Your stomach produces less acid. The muscles that move food through your system weaken. And with those changes come less efficient nutrient absorption, more frequent bloating, and often a quiet but steady drop in weight. It might start with subtle signs. You push your plate away sooner than usual. You feel full after only a few bites. Or maybe you feel heavy and tired after eating, as though food takes more than it gives. These moments aren't just getting older. They're your body sending you a message, one that's easy to miss but important to hear. So what can you do when food no longer feels nourishing? Start by making your meals easier to digest. Choose warm, lightly cooked foods over cold, raw ones. Add spices like ginger or turmeric that help stimulate digestion naturally. And focus on color. The more variety in your vegetables, the more nutrients your body receives. Walking gently for 10 to 15 minutes after a meal can also help stimulate your gut. Think of it as turning the gears. A light walk can move food through your system more smoothly and reduce bloating or discomfort. And hydration, it matters more than you think. Even mild dehydration can slow digestion and worsen constipation. Try sipping warm water or herbal teas between meals. Not only does it help your gut, but it also supports your overall energy levels. If you've unintentionally lost weight or feel tired after eating, it's worth checking in with your doctor. Sometimes a blood test can reveal deficiencies in vitamin B12, iron, or digestive enzymes that could be corrected. But don't lose heart. Small changes can lead to big improvements. Eating doesn't have to be a chore. It can be healing, comforting, even joyful again. So the next time you sit down to eat, pause. Notice how your body responds. And choose one small change, whether that's a gentler meal, a short walk afterward, or simply sipping more water throughout your day. If you found this helpful and you know someone who's also losing their appetite or struggling with meals, don't keep it to yourself. Copy the link and share it with them. It might be just the thing they need to feel understood and supported. Memory and mental clarity. We all forget things from time to time. Misplacing your glasses, blanking on a word, or walking into a room and wondering why. That's normal, and it happens to all of us. But what happens when forgetfulness starts to creep into everyday conversations? When following along feels harder than it used to? Or when something simple like remembering a neighbor's name suddenly becomes a frustrating mental fog? That's what happened with Nancy. Known for her quick wit and thoughtful chats, she suddenly found herself stumbling through conversations. One day she forgot the name of someone she'd greeted nearly every morning for years. Her family noticed, not with alarm but with care. They encouraged her to bring it up at her next doctor's visit, and what they discovered early made all the difference. You see, memory changes with age, but not all memory issues are part of normal aging. Sometimes they point to something deeper. Cognitive decline often arrives quietly, through small behavioral shifts, repeating stories, losing track of appointments, struggling to keep up in social settings. It's not always obvious at first, but over time the pieces add up. If you've been feeling more mentally tired, if you're withdrawing from conversations because it's too hard to keep up, or you notice you're second-guessing yourself more often, don't brush it off. This could be your brain gently asking for help. So what can you do? Mental activity is your brain's version of exercise. Reading books, doing puzzles, trying new hobbies, even listening to music and discussing what you've read helps keep neurons firing. Think of it like watering a garden. Without attention and engagement, things slowly dry out. Socializing is just as important. Isolation is a quiet enemy to cognitive health. Whether it's a phone call, a game night, or a walk with a friend, human connection keeps your mind sharp, your mood lifted, and your confidence steady. Nutrition matters too. Omega-3s found in fatty fish like salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds are known to support brain health. Leafy greens are packed with antioxidants that protect brain cells. And quality sleep? It's when your brain processes memory, clears waste, and resets. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just start where you are. Maybe it's picking up a crossword. Maybe it's planning lunch with a neighbor. Maybe it's asking your doctor about a memory screening. Memory loss isn't just about forgetting things. It's about losing connection to yourself, to others, to the rhythm of your life. But with awareness, care, and the right steps, you can protect that connection longer than you might think. When sleep stops being restful. Sleep is supposed to recharge us, but what if it's quietly draining us instead? Frank always thought of himself as just a light sleeper, someone who needed a quiet room and a dark night. But over time, the tiredness grew. He woke up groggy. He needed naps during the day. It wasn't until his daughter stayed over and heard his loud snoring that they realized something deeper was happening. A sleep study confirmed it: sleep apnea. For years, his brain and body hadn't been getting the rest they desperately needed. And Frank isn't alone. For many people over 70, sleep begins to change. You may wake up more often. You may fall asleep easily but still feel exhausted. You may start waking earlier than you'd like or spend hours tossing and turning. But here's the problem: the world often tells us that's just aging. And so we stop questioning it. But not all poor sleep is normal. In fact, sleep disruption can be a sign of something else happening in your body: changes in hormone levels, blood sugar imbalances, even underlying heart or lung problems. The longer it goes on, the more it affects everything else: memory, mood, appetite, even your balance and energy during the day. Some early signs to take seriously include waking up multiple times each night to use the bathroom, difficulty falling back asleep, and feeling foggy or irritable after what should have been a full night's rest. If any of these feel familiar, it may be time to stop blaming age and start exploring solutions. What can help? Start with your evening routine. Your body craves predictability. Try going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, even on weekends. Avoid screen time at least 30 minutes before bed. The blue light from phones and TVs suppresses melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep naturally. Create a sleep environment that's calm and cool. Many sleep experts recommend a bedroom temperature between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Use breathable sheets, dim lighting, and minimize noise. If you wake often to use the bathroom, reduce fluid intake 2 hours before bed, and if that doesn't help, talk to your doctor. It could be more than just hydration. Try gentle wind-down activities like soft music, reading, or aromatherapy. Even a few minutes of light stretching or slow breathing can shift your body into a restful state. And don't underestimate the power of natural daylight. Getting sun exposure early in the day helps reset your internal clock, improving nighttime sleep. If you've been struggling to feel rested, you're not alone, and you don't have to settle for poor sleep. Improving sleep after 70 is possible, and the benefits ripple through every part of your life. If someone you care about also seems constantly tired, share this video with them. Just copy the link and send it their way. You might be giving them the first step toward better nights and brighter days. Let's take a moment and step back. Yes, aging brings change, but not all change is something to fear. Some shifts are natural, even beautiful in their own way. Others? They're your body's way of asking for support. The key is learning how to listen. So if you've noticed anything today that feels familiar, whether in your strength, your sleep, your digestion, or your memory, remember, it's never too late to check in with yourself or with your doctor. Choose just one small thing this week. Maybe it's drinking more water, maybe it's walking a little farther, or maybe it's picking up that book you've been meaning to finish. I'd love to know what stood out to you today. Leave a comment and share what you plan to try. Like this video if it helped. Subscribe and hit the bell so you'll know when we release the next one. And please share this with someone who might need it today. Thank you for spending this time with us.